How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull Gold TCG, and today's video has to deal with the competitive Pokemon trading card game format for 2015 to 2016 season. So, the one that begins after Worlds. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with how the format works, every time a Worlds Championship comes and goes, right afterwards, the format changes. Sets rotate out as a way to just make the game a little more fair for everyone. And, well, the current standard format after Worlds comes out, so not current, but the upcoming standard format is going to be X and Y and on, which means when you go to an official event, you can play with any cards from XY, Flash Fire, Double Crisis, Furious Fists, Phantom Forces, the XY starter set, forgot to mention that. Did I say Phantom Forces? I did now. Primal Clash, Roaring Skies, and Ancient Origins once that comes out, and then every set that releases thereafter. An alternative format to that is the expanded format. And in this last year, it was something that was just invented, and the only time you ever saw it was day 2 of the regional championships. You didn't see it at Nationals, you won't see it at Worlds this August, so a lot of people were just not really playing expanded because it was really reserved for only a few dozen people out of the entire trading card game community. The expanded format currently is black and white and on, which means you can play from any card from the black and white or the XY series, and it looks like it's going to be that way again beginning in September when the new format change comes about. Now we have news here straight from the Houston Regionals organizer Facebook page. You'll have a picture of it on your screen right now, and it says, "You've probably figured it out by looking at the LC's format. Houston Regionals will be expanded format for Swiss and Top Cut." Now, this is what this basically means, first of all, is that when you go to the Houston Regionals, which are going to be sometime this fall, for the whole tournament, whether you get to Top Cut or not, whether you get to day 2 or not, if you just pop in, pay your money, and say, okay, I want to play, you can use any cards from the Black and White series and on. This is a bit detrimental for a lot of players because up to now, people have been starting to sell off their extra copies of cards they thought they wouldn't need anymore, like Execute, maybe even a few N or 2, stuff like that. Things that we thought, okay, only going to be playing standard format in most of these tournaments, and if we think that we have a shot at getting to day 2, we'll just get 1 or 2 techs we need. Now, the entirety of regionals is going to be black and white and on. And here's the thing, Pokemon is no longer printing those sets, which means it's going to be really hard to get those cards that people need. It's already causing a lot of pain in the community. And I have a close friend who's working with tournament organizers all over the country. I won't say his name, but I will say he's very reputable. He's always plays very well in tournaments, and he currently is a writer for PokeBeach. Hopefully that didn't give too much away. But I mean, he could just be a forum writer for all you guys know. Anyway, he has information that all regionals in the next season, so every single regionals in fall, winter, and spring in 2015 and 2016 will be expanded for Swiss and Top Cut. That means you go to regionals, it's going to be expanded. That's very interesting news, and excuse me while I take a drink of water. And it's not very welcoming news. A lot of people were looking forward to saying goodbye to Hypnotoxic Laser, goodbye to things like N, things that have been around for oh so long. Literally, some of these cards have been around for 4 years. And now we have, apparently, the biggest tournaments of the year outside of Nationals and Worlds, and they're going to be there. And it's not like it expanded has been at these previous regionals where people were like, okay, Same deck I played day one, maybe with one or two techs. No. This kind of expanded allows you to play the old reliable decks. Like, you can play those 4 laser and 2 Verbank. You can play those executes. You can play those ends, Flareons. You can play those Mute EX to tech into Night March. It's going to be a nightmare. And frankly, I don't know what they were thinking when they did this. It's definitely going to deter away new players who might potentially think, okay, I want to go to regionals. If for any other reason than, to get the 3 play points, that's a third of the way to getting the play points you need for nationals. And that's another thing. Expanded is only for regionals. It's not going to be played at nationals. It's not going to be played for worlds. It's only regionals. The people who earn a lot of championship points to get their invite for worlds, it's going to be through things like regionals, and placing at the top with a deck that might not even have a single copy of a card that'll be in the standard format. It's extremely unlikely, but it's possible. My point is, people who are going to be winning regionals now, or at least placing consistently high in regionals, aren't... That doesn't mean that they're the best. At least not with the current format. Not when everything else, literally every other tournament, uses standard. So we have a small list here, again provided by the same person, of rumored cards that will be banned and expanded. Of course, we have Lysander's Trump card. The picture of this is probably on the screen in front of you. We have Lysander's Trump card, which is banned in both standard and expanded. That's known. We also have Latios EX from Roaring Skies. The one that can deal 40 on first turn. I mean, people have thought of using it a few times. We haven't seen too much play of it. And now, in regionals, you won't ever see a single Latios. So in the event, maybe you run that Blastoise deck or something with a few eggs. Now, if you start with an egg and your opponent can't start with Latios and knock it out. There's still, the Verbank laser thing, which is, it's like they're wanting these cards that we have hated for years to not go away, which I frankly just don't understand. This is really turning off a lot of people who've been looking forward to a fresh, awesome format, clean format, and this is just going to bring back all those shenanigans that we have been dealing with for 4 years, hoping that it'll go away. Then we get a reprint or a rotation that just barely keeps us set in format, and now we have expanded at regionals. Of course, you can always just choose to play a standard deck at regionals. No one's stopping you, except for the fact that everyone around you is going to be playing expanded anyway, so you'll be putting yourself at a disadvantage. Pardon me. Okay, we're also getting banned Lugia EX from Plasma Storm for some reason. Archie's Ace in the Hole. Okay, we can kind of see that. It was pretty good at getting Empoleon in play. Mega Tyranitar EX? The card hasn't even been released yet. In English, the day that it becomes format legal, it's getting banned. Why? It's like they're picking and choosing random cards that they think might be the tiniest bit overpowered and banning it. Why do you bother expanded at all? That's all that expanded is. That's all that the Black and White series through current is. That's the whole reason Lysander's Trump card was banned, is because it, in this illustration, it was a card that did exactly as it was supposed to do. So they had to ban it because that was too good. All these cards are good. Latios EX, if you deal 40 and you attack first, there are times when you can win. Against Night March, against the Lone Egg, anything. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do to give you a slight advantage. And they're banning it, I'm assuming, because it's doing its job. Good job, Pokemon. And then finally, Executor from Plasma Freeze. The one with the... I can't remember it. The one that prevents your opponent from using a supporter during their turn. Which I can understand, kind of. That would extend games way too unhealthily, kind of like Lysander's Trump card. in any case, this is a really stupid list. Not well, I think it's stupid, first of all, that they're making expanded. If you want my opinion, this is it. Expanded for regionals, stupid. Expanded overall, I like the concept, but right now it's just, I don't see it. And then, finally, expanded for every regionals, and then banning each of these cards from expanded. Why bother? Why bother with expanded at all? So, that's basically all that I have right now. There will definitely be updates on this in the future. We will see if this information is correct and that it's for every regionals. I trust him. It might be that he's getting bad information, but we'll see. For now, just know for sure that at the Houston Regionals this fall, it's going to be expanded for the whole day, for both days, for every single match at regionals will be expanded. It might or may not ban these cards, but I'd say it's a strong possibility. So, yeah, if you guys are competitively into Pokemon, just know regionals is going to be nothing but expanded. So, you're going to realistically have to build 2 decks. One to play at League Challenge, Cities, States, Nats, and Worlds, and one for regionals. And I'll tell you something, those older cards, they're going to go for a lot. Full Arden, it could go for as much as $50 because it's just that good of a card. Yeah, you're just going to have a bad time at regionals. So I guess that's all I have to say. For now, I think this only affects the United States. I can't say about anywhere else in the world. You're just going to have to keep track of your local news or whatever. But yeah, I felt that this was worth sharing with all of you. I hope that this was informative. If you have anything to say on it, please leave a comment below. I welcome any talk about this. Just, keep language out of it. That's all I have to say. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.